Hi everyone, my name is Megan and welcome to my 8th Flosstube video. It's been about a month since I've been here and I have an awful lot to share with everyone. I have FFO, I have some finishes, I have some whips, I have a little bit of retreat stuff I would like to talk about, and I have a buttload of haul. So, it's a little overcast today. The weather has been unseasonably cool over the past few days and that's been wonderful, but we don't have a lot of sunshine and there's not a whole lot I can do about that. So if we have some weird lighting issues, I apologize in advance. Not going to do any real life updates today because I kind of have a lot here that I would like to get to, and I just got home from work and I'm tired, so I would like to just go ahead and get started. Alright. So the first thing that I want to share with you is a great big FFO, and I'm going to have to step off camera here for 1 second while I get it. Because it's big. Okay. And here it is. Oh, hope you can see it. This is 272 words, all framed up, the Gettysburg Address. A little closer so you can see some detail on the frame. It's beautiful. I absolutely love it. It hangs in my dining room on the wall right across from where we are right now, so I can look at it every single day. The stretching of this thing was kind of terrible. There may or may not have been a laser level involved, and it's still not quite perfect, but I think it's gorgeous. And I'm super happy to show you this finish. Okay, and while I'm still standing up, I have two more things that I would like to show you. I finished my shawl that I was working on the last time I made a video. I finished this on my way up to New Jersey and I still have not woven in the ends or blocked it. There's a cat trying to attack it. But with the weather being nice and chilly right now, it's getting me anxious to be able to start wearing this. So there's that, and one more great big finish. I finished A Mind Independent and Free by Carriage House Samplings. I'm gonna have to back up. So as you can see, that's pretty big. That's almost my size. Alright, now, you 1 second. Okay, so I'll give you a little close up. This, I stitched this on 28 count smoky permin linen, and fun fact, which one? I think it's this alphabet, is all one stitch in. And I didn't realize that until I got all the way down to the very bottom border and something wasn't right, but I most certainly was not going to pick that all out, so I fudged it, and I don't think anybody can tell the difference, and I'm okay with it. So I am super pleased with how this turned out. I have a great spot in my living room for it to hang. I started that was my new start this year, so I love that. The next finish I have is Time Enough by Cathy, Barek. This one I had started a few months ago. I figured it was a good piece to take to retreat with me because it would just be fill-in, and that is where I finished it. So here it is. And it's definitely very washed out. The fabric is a 36 count in Lemonade by Color and Cotton. Sorry, there are cats everywhere. There might be a disaster, I'm not sure. And I stitched it in all of the called for DMC, and I was stitching away at this clock. This is all I had left to do at retreat, and I didn't want to, and I was kind of whiny about it, but I had some amazing cheerleaders at my table that were like, yes, just, you can do it, you're almost there, and so I did, and it's finished, and I love it. My next finish is what I worked on for the Christmas in July sale, that was run by Diana of It Is Kismet Stitches. I'm not a big Christmas person, but she had a pattern, Lo How a Rose, and I also had that, so I decided I would stitch that along with her. And this is what it looks like, or was supposed to look like. So I did not do mine in Christmas type colors, or even necessarily winter colors. I think I had mentioned in my last video that I wanted to have more stitching upstairs, so I picked colors that would go with my bedroom. And I stitched this on a piece of 22 count Vienna linen that I dyed myself. And here is my finish. Again, pretty washed out, but that's okay. And I love how these colors turned out. Super proud of that. I also worked on that one at retreat and almost finished it the day after. And then somewhere in the mix, I had pulled out Plum Street Antiques and Barson Lowbrow 1837, which looks like this. And there are two different colorways that you can use for this pattern, or that they suggest that you use for this pattern. There's one for the model here, and there's one that matches the antique in the back, and I am doing it in the antique colorway. And I had already finished page 1, and I am now working on page 2. This is 40 count vintage exemplar, and I love stitching words, and so this has been an absolute joy to work on. The 40 count is a little bit challenging for me. I do need some pretty good lighting to be able to do it, but the more I do it, the more comfortable I'm getting, and I love those little tiny X's. So after that was the 24 hours of cross stitch challenge, and so I participated in that. This was my first time. I managed to stitch about 15 or so hours in my 48-hour window, so I was pretty happy with that. We had a busy weekend that weekend, birthday party, and all kinds of other stuff going on, so I feel pretty good about what I did, and I thought a lot about what project I might want to work on, and so I decided to challenge myself to work on the project that I don't want to work on the most, and that project is 99 by Ink Circles. And this is what it will look like one day when it is finished. And I did make some good progress. I managed to get a page finish. So here's where it is right now. I mean, it's more than halfway, or maybe at halfway. It'll get there. I've been working on this since 2017, and I added in these two sections of bottles during the 24-hour challenge. I was going to try to keep going and to start on the next page and just keep, you know, plugging away, but I could not do it for another second. I don't know if you've ever felt that way, where you're working on something and you're like, nope, they're done for right now. You gotta move on. So I didn't really feel like pulling out any of my other whips, and I decided to treat myself to a new start. I've been doing a lot of finishing, so why not start something new? And this had been kitted up for a few years, and so I decided to start it. This is Carrot Chow Samplings Pantaloons. This is what it's supposed to look like. Very quirky. Probably one of the strangest things I have ever stitched. And I think it's great. And I started it and I finished it. This is on a piece of 28 count truffle by Picture This Plus. And there's cat hair everywhere. I used all the call for colors. And here it is, all finished. This fabric, there's no way to make you be able to see what this fabric actually looks like. It photographs brown, it looks purple under my stitching light. It's a more corally kind of pink color in real life. It's lovely. I think that's great also to go upstairs. So after I finished that, I kind of started to feel a little bit of a stitching slump. Like nothing was really calling my name. I was going through my projects. I was like digging out all my patterns and my fabric and trying to like put things together, and nothing, nothing just seemed right. And I'm kind of still in that mood, kind of like, I'm sure something will start like really calling to me soon, but it is not right now. So I decided I would just start something else that I had kitted up for a long time, and this is an old pattern from Diane Gravener Designs, a hand-drawn pattern, which is a little bit of a challenge, but that's okay. And I believe it's called Bluebirds Play While Kitty Sleeps, and this is what it looks like. And this is not something that would typically be my style, but this is like so my life right here. So we have a little black cat, a little black outside cat named Dingus, and Dingus is always trying to get the bluebirds. We've got bluebird houses all around. And so she like stalks the houses and they dive bomb her, and it's a lot of animal drama going on out there. And so when I saw this, I'm sure this came from Stash Uploading. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what happens here. So I've been working on this for the past few days, and I guess maybe a week, I'm not sure. And I'm getting some progress on it. This is where I am right now. This is one of those things where you feel like you're stitching and stitching and stitching and stitching, and nothing is growing. I guess that's how I feel about this. This is a 18 count Ada that I dyed. The other half of this is what I stitched Weep Not on. But it's coming along, just called for DMCs. It's not a difficult stitch whatsoever. So I'm probably gonna just keep plugging away at this for right now until something else starts to call my name. Okay. Sorry, I don't want that to fall. So I believe that is all of my stitching. Now I'd like to just talk about the retreat a little bit. I went to the New Jersey Flosstube retreat, and it was amazing. Once my nerves finally settled, I got there on Thursday, and I'm really glad that I did, because I really needed the extra day to kind of let my anxiety come down a little bit and ease into the situation. I think a lot of times, a lot of us have the same kind of fears when going into a retreat. Who will I sit with? Who will I talk to? Will I be okay? And I definitely feel that way as well. And at first, I would try to go in the stitching room, but nobody was really at my table yet. And I was like, I tried to stitch a little bit, and I'd be like, no. And I would just go back to my room. And it took a little while for me to really be ready to do it. And then finally Thursday night, it was, I don't know, was it 8 o'clock maybe? And I was like, that's it, Erin, I'm just gonna go get my water bottle and come back to the room. And I went to do that, and my table was full of people. And so I sat down and I stitched instead, and I'm super, super glad that I did that. My table mates were all amazing. And it is, kind of scary, like, where do I sit? It feels like high school again or something. But I guess the good thing about being in a group of stitchers is that even when you're nervous and you don't know like where to start or how to, start a conversation with people you don't know, like all you have to say is, oh, what are you stitching? I need to take my own advice a little bit sometimes with that kind of thing. But it was an amazing weekend with amazing people and super late bedtimes, and I left feeling really good and a little bit stronger from it all. So that out of the way, I did participate in the smalls exchange, and my small was the pomegranate needlebook and pink heap that I had showed, I think, in my last video. And I received one from Karen Mayer, and this is what I got. in the Smalls Exchange. Very cute. I went and hunted her down and gave her a big hug. She said this was the first pillow she had ever made. She did an awesome job. It's beautiful. And the lady that got my small was so sweet. She came and found me and gave me a big hug, and as it turned out, her and her husband used to sail out of my town. And I think it was really cool. She was very, very sweet. I'm not going to show like everything that we got. I just wanted to show a few of the handmade things because these are so special that people would take the time to make 100 or 110 of the same thing for each of us. Like, that's amazing. So I just wanted to share a few of those things. Kelly Bell made each of us little wort catchers. Little bell on it. Super sweet. Caroline from Off the Grid made everybody a little notions bag. The inside, I don't think there's any way you're going to be able to see it, is like a kind of tone-on-tone floral. You can see it a little bit there. And then Sweet Candace from Slub Lover Stitchers, I think I said that right, made each of us one of these little bobbins. Look how cute. That is freaking cute. So we got those, and then a bunch of the ladies that, I hope I'm not mistaken, helped Arlene get the retreat together. That's Arlene Cohen of Works by ABC, who is like seriously so freaking nice. They, filled our little goodie bags, and Barbara Nelson made all of us these little bags, like little snap bags. Isn't that cute? So cute. And these little red drops. And we got little beeswaxers. Counting pins. And everything was different, which is wild. A little New Jersey Retreat fob, see that there, and a little handmade notebook. All kinds of cute pages in it. So that was all amazing. I left with my heart super, super full. Can't wait for next year. Fingers crossed. So with this retreat, Needleworkers Delight offered all of us, I think was it 10% off, 15% off? I don't remember. And so we went over there. I think that was on Friday morning. Erin and I went over, and I did just pick up a few things, including a chart which they were out of stock of, and I actually got the email today that it's back in stock and they're going to send it to me. I got this pattern, So Happy, by All Through the Night. Can you handle that bird? The flippin' thimble on his head. I can't handle that bird. He's tiny. 92 by 62. Very excited to start him. And then I kitted up a project. I got Michelle Ink Needlework Designs, Quaker Gone Po. This is what this is supposed to look like. And it only calls for 3 colors. Like a blackish colored chimney sweep is pretty black. A purple and a green. But I chose some different colors. For my purple, I picked up Planet Earth 6-ply silk. And the color is Peak 1096. Purple. For the black, I chose Black Coral by Dinky Dyes. I've used this on a couple different projects, and this I think is probably my favorite black. And then instead of the green, we went with Merlot by Weeks Dye Works, because that is definitely more of our color scheme. And I picked up a piece of fabric to go with it. This is a 38 count Delarna in Autumn Field. Nice big piece of this, and that'll fit on half of this, and so I will have the other half to use for something else. Okay, so that was my segue into haul, and I'm gonna try to do this pretty quickly because it is definitely getting darker as we speak. First, wait a second, all my monthly things came in, and I'm not gonna really go over these because who knows when they got here. My Victoria mottos. And this is Mittens. This is the one I didn't introduce last time. She wants to be in everything. Yeah. Excuse me. My Color and Cottons of the month came. And actually this month's just came. I think they're in the mail right now. While I was stitching Low How Rose, I thought I was going to need more of the barnwood that I did the lettering in. So I placed an order with her for that. I got a couple more threads. I'm always looking for like the right red, my red. So I got some of those, and I got one of her like mystery grab bags as well with some pretty colors in there too. And also my monthly Color and Cotton came in. This was a 32 count in parchment, cotton, parchment, and I'm sure this will, no, you're not going to be able to really see it. It's just a pretty neutral color. I like that a lot. And then I got a piece of Seraphim hand-dyed fabrics for her fabric of the month. The colorway was Harvest Blessings, and I'm not positive this might have been her last fabric of the month. I'm not sure, don't quote me please. And I got this in a 36 count. I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't get it in the 32 count because this would be perfect for the Cathedral Woods goddess from Mirabilia that I got. This is pretty wild for me. It's definitely not as bright in real life as it's showing up on here. I got like the softer of the colorways. There's like a bold or a soft option, and this was the softer option, and I am in love with it. I think I'd like to do some like weird old prim stuff on it. I think that would be really cool. All right, let me just pull everything a little closer. From Hewitt Hill, Needlework and Notions. Picked up a few pairs of scissors. And of course, if I'm going to have more scissors, I need another fob from my girl Crystal at the Jeweled Antler. She was listing these, or she had said that she was listing these when we were on our way to New Jersey, and I was like stalking her Etsy because I had seen some sneak peeks and I knew I definitely wanted one with the crystal at the bottom. I'm not sure what took me over to the Cottage Needles site, but I was there anyways, and I picked up a few things. I picked up some of the called for colors for Cinnamon Stars. I think I got that pattern 2 years ago. And, you know, I don't mind subbing out any colors. I've got all, you know, all my monthly ones, but this is one that I really want to do in the called for colors. I think it's beautiful. Also from them, I picked up Not Forgotten Farms, The House That Jack Built. Cute. And Birds of a Feather, Bird Sampler. Then I placed an order with Extra Designs. There was a piece of fabric that I had wanted to get for a while, and I finally decided, you know, I would like to start this project sooner than later, so I'm going to go ahead and order the fabric. And a piece of fabric can't travel from Hungary alone. Duh. So, first, this is what she sent as the little freebie. It says Tusa Silk. It's like a purpley color. And I got some of her threads. This is Red Velvet in her matte base. I really like that. Mariska's red. This is on her DMC base. Variegation, and I wanted to try out some of her silks as well, so I got this one in Sour Cherry, and this one, which is a little more on the pink side of Red Bull's Blood. I'm very excited to work with those. The project that I needed fabric for was Eleanor Rigby. So I stitched 272 words on a piece of Grandpa's sleeve, and I knew when I did this one, because I'm going to change it and make it for my grandmother, I wanted to do it on Grandma's slip that she has. Now this is very tiny, clearly, compared to 272 words, so I hope to do actually a couple little ones for my grandmother. And here's that fabric. I have all of the threads that I used for my grandfather's project all set aside to go with this. This one will be hard not to start soon. I also had another project that I knew I wanted to get fabric for, and that is Jenny Bean's Gentle Spring Sampler, which looks like this. I stitched my other two Jenny Beans on extra fabric, and so I wanted to do that with this one as well. I went with a 32 count in pistachio. No, that's not right. Well, fortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to show you this one properly. It's a very pretty, like, spring green. Well, it's the color of a pistachio. That's very aptly named, actually. This is going to be a little tight on this. I think I'm only going to have an inch on either side, but, you know, I'm a framer, so I'll be able to deal with it. I picked up a few other pieces of fabric, also in a 32 count, sampler khaki. Pretty neutral. This pile's getting big. And another piece of 32 count in old linen, and this one I really, really like. I really like that a lot. It's definitely a little deeper in real life than what you're seeing here. Almost done, guys. I really enjoy, I don't normally enjoy stitching for other people because, you know, unless it's another stitcher, or maybe sometimes a member of your family or something, a lot of people might not get it, but I do really enjoy stitching for my niece. It was her birthday party that I was at during 24 hours of cross stitch. She has turned 5, I can't believe it. And I want to stitch her something, I'm not sure when I'll start this, but I got her ice cream leaves by Soda Stitch, and I think she is going to love them. So I don't know if I'll do it all as one piece or if I'll like do them individually. I will have to ask my sister what she thinks, but I think that will be a lot of fun. Now I've got some charts. Julie from Gulf Coast Stitches was having a sale, and I picked up 2 that I had my eye on for a while, both from Plum Street. Grow, which these are bigger than I thought they were. I think that's flippin' hilarious. And Crowing on the Hill, because I live on a hill. That's me. I think I'm gonna rechart the house to look like my house. A few that I got from Not Forgotten Farm. Death and Judgment. 1783 sampler, Abigail Pruitt. And this, Sparrow's Pocket freehand cross stitch. It says his eyes on the sparrow. So Lori from Not Forgotten Farm, just started a freehand cross stitch Facebook page, which I joined. I'm not very active on Facebook. I'm more of a scroller by. I don't really post anything on Facebook anymore. But it's been really cool seeing all the different projects people are doing with the freehand cross stitch. It's almost like embroidery where you would draw the design on there and then you just fill it in. You're not counting. You can do it on linen. I don't know if I could, because my tendency would be to count, but they look super prim and old, and there's some really cool stuff going on in that group, so I'm enjoying watching that, and I'm excited to start this. I just need to get some fabric for it. From Stash Unloading, I picked up Midsummer Night Designs Remembrance. And it says, "Death leaves a heartache no one can heal. Love leaves a memory no one can steal." And so I think what I would like to do with this is darken it up, make that more like a tombstone angel, darken up the colors. You probably can't see them, but there's some little sheep that I would probably take out or replace with something else. There's that. 4 and 20 Blackbirds by Rosewood Manor. A few Barek samplers. Patchwork Cats. These cats. And American Landscape. And the Gilded Cage. Almost lastly, I went to Heartstring Samplery and picked up 2 charts from there. Erin actually picked this one out. I don't remember where I saw this, if it was on Instagram. I think it was on Instagram. Somebody was stitching this and it was gorgeous. And this is It Must Have Been the Mistletoe. And it says, "It must have been the mistletoe, the lazy fire, falling snow, magic in the frosty air that made me love you." And Erin and I got together in December, many years ago now, and he thought that this reminded him of when we got together. I thought that was sweet. And then I also got Remember Me. And this one says, "When this you see, remember me and keep me in your mind, and be not like the weathercock that turn at every wind." I feel like it should be wind, but that doesn't make sense. "When I'm dead and laid in grave and all my bones are rotten, may I remembered be when I should be forgotten." And I don't know, I kind of like that it's all these like light pastel-y colors with this very dark verse on it. And I'm not sure if I'm going to go that route or if I am going to darken it up, but I think I have a little bit of time before I decide that. And this is it, guys. This is the end. We've made it to the end. I showed you, I think, last week that I had purchased this. And so from Threads Entwined, I picked up some of the supplies I will be needing. I got the water lilies and the embellishment pack and the Krynic. Look how cute this is. Everything comes so adorably packaged from there. Everything. Look at that. I also did not read properly, and this is definitely not enough Krynic, but that's okay. That means maybe I'll just have to order something else from her. I don't know. And I did dye a piece of fabric for it, but I have a feeling that you're not really going to be able to see it. Excuse my threads. You can kind of see the modeling on there. Kind of the same vein of what I always dye. It's actually kind of more purpley. Let me try to fold it one more time. Maybe next time or whenever I start this, I'll be able to show you a better picture of what it looks like. This is just some 28 count Monaco. That's ready for that project. All right, friends, I think that's it. You can always come and visit with me on Instagram, where I am Wide-Eyed Stitching Child. I've been a very bad Instagrammer lately. I think because I've been in like a stitchy funk, I haven't really been in the mood to post anything, so I'm just kind of like picking away here and picking away there, but I always say I'm going to try to be better, and then I never am. So no promises on that. I hope everyone is well, and hopefully it won't be a month between my next one. I think we all have that hope when we're making videos that we can do them a little sooner together. And that's it. Happy Monday, everybody. Love you. Bye.